these NFC East draft grades is the New York Giants. The New York Giants originally had the 11th pick in the draft and actually traded back to the 20th pick in the draft with the Chicago Bears. The Bears ended up trading up to get Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields. And in that trade, the New York Giants actually received the Chicago Bears first-round pick in next year's draft. That's a great trade for both teams. Chicago gets their quarterback of the future, while the New York Giants trade back and get an extra first-round pick for next season. So like I mentioned, the New York Giants, they selected 20th overall. And with their 20th overall pick, they took Florida wide receiver Cadarius Tony. This pick was very, very interesting, to say the least. I'm a big fan of Cadarius Tony, but him with the 20th pick here, the New York Giants offense really surprised me quite a bit. You know, they have Sterling Shepard, they have Evan Ingram at tight end, who has 1 year on his contract. Just signed Kenny Golladay to a massive, massive contract for 4 years. They signed speedster John Ross to a 1 year contract. And then you take Cadarius Tony with a 20th pick. This was an interesting pick. You know, coming into the draft, I would say the Giants' biggest needs were offensive line and defensive end. The top defensive end available, Kwity Paye, was actually available. I was really surprised they did not take Kwity Paye because there was multiple mock drafts. I'm happy New York take Kwity Paye at number 11. And the fact that they trade back to number 20 and Paye is still available and they don't take him was a bit of a shock in my opinion. But it's a really interesting pick here with Tony at number 20. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's outstanding. I think it's a good pickup. And I ended up giving this draft grade here for Cadarius Tony a grade B. Like I mentioned, heading into the draft, the New York Giants' biggest need was definitely edge rusher. And with the 50th pick in the draft, the New York Giants arguably got the biggest steal and the best value pick here in the entire draft, taking Georgia edge rusher Azeez Ojulari. I know I've said numerous times that Patrick Jones is my favorite edge rusher in this draft. But Azeez Ojulari was actually my edge number 1 on my big board rankings for each position. Ojulari here going to the Giants at number 50 is an absolute steal, and that's a match made in heaven for the New York Giants coaching staff. You're getting a guy you want at number 20 to really help your quarterback and Daniel Jones. You get a first-round pick next season from the Chicago Bears, who probably will not end up doing well, which will probably be a top 12 pick. And you get a top 15 talent from this year's draft at the 50th pick overall. So far, this was an absolutely outstanding draft here by Dave Gettleman and the New York Giants. With their third-round pick selection, the New York Giants took UCF cornerback Aaron Robinson. The New York Giants could use some more help on the secondary. I think Andy Robinson here was a really, really nice pickup. I ended up giving this pick a B. Corner, you know, they don't have any great corners, but I think Robinson here was a tremendous value pick here for New York. I really thought this was a great pick here with the 71st pick overall. With the New York Giants' fourth-round pick selection, with the 116th pick overall, they took Northern Iowa edge rusher Ellison Smith. Ellison Smith was one of my favorite edge rushers in the draft. He was one of my favorite late-round guys. Small school prospects. I'm always a big fan of small school prospects. When you hear Ellison Smith's name from Northern Iowa, he's one of the first to come in mind, in my opinion. Him here with the 116th pick overall. Some may say that is a little bit of a reach. I don't think so at all, because Ellison Smith played the top schools like Ohio State or Alabama. I definitely think he would be much, much higher in people's boards. I know the level of competition does have a big factor in it playing at Northern Iowa. But if you look at Northern Iowa's, you know, some of their alumni who's played there, David Johnson, you know, the running back who's been very successful in the NFL. Mike Fury, who was a wide receiver with the Detroit Lions, who was really, really good for a couple of years. And also Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner. Despite, you know, playing not the biggest school, Northern Iowa has some great prospects playing there. I gave this pick an A for the New York Giants. This was another great pick here for Dave Gettleman and the New York Giants. 6th-round picks. And with their first 6th-round pick, it took Arizona running back Gary Bridgewell. I thought this was a pretty nice pickup. Bridgewell was probably the best running back available, one of the better players available here. And with Saquon Barkley coming off a season-ending injury, I think it's smart for the Giants to get a running back so Barkley does not have to carry the load for New York to start off the season. I thought it was a great value pick here for the Giants, and I ended up giving this pick here a grade B. With the New York Giants' final pick in this draft, with a 206th pick overall, they took Oklahoma State cornerback Bardarius Williams. I thought this was a tremendous value pick here. Williams is arguably the best corner available here with the 201st pick overall. Like I said, corner is a kind of not necessarily a need, but the Giants could definitely upgrade it. I thought this was a fantastic pick here with New York Giants in the 6th round. So I give this pick here a grade B+. Overall, I thought this was a great draft here by Dave Gettleman and the New York Giants. Some people were really skeptical about how Dave Gettleman and the Giants would do in this draft, and I definitely think they hit it off out of the park. This was a grand slam draft here for the Giants. Not only did they have a very successful draft, they actually get a 1st-round pick next year with a Chicago Bears trade.